Here we go. Hero Mo Podcast. Happy belated National Power Rangers Day. We saw that it was August 28th, and then a couple of days later is the anniversary for Jason David Frank, JDF. So rest in power, rest in the and the Morphin grid and everything. So once again, I'm the host at the most, Go Beyond Galen, and I'm gonna start this name off right extra long. My brother, Sean, the great sage equal to heaven, Sean Wukong. Say that 3 times fast, my brother. How are you, man?
Good, yo. What's good? I had to change it real quick because I've been playing so much Black Myth and crying my eyes out. I love the Monkey King. I used to read the story Journey to the West when I was in like 6th grade. I think I got the books from the library, and those things were huge. I always loved Sun Wukong, and I just thought it was special for this one. You know, I had to do it. Also, I hope my settings are good if you guys can hear me. On the last one, I was
sound beautiful.
All right, good. If I sound terrible, you know, just cut me out. I'm done. Yeah. Let Ernie take my spot.
Nah, man, you good.
The next up, pretty Austin James. Oh, wait, we got 2. I mean, depending how you take, we had two monkey references in one episode. You know, there's no Frieza up in here either.
No.
Great Austin James. What's going on, Austin?
What's up, guys? I'm hyped up, man. It's a good episode.
We just lost all the culture after that reference. And finally, we got the Morphin Master. Third time's a charm, Ernie.
Hey.
Without fear, on the way to 100K subscribers.
Almost, man.
I
tell you what, just to keep us on theme, you can call me Kyoryu Sentai Blood Ranger. That's what you can call me.
Blood Ranger.
Yeah.
Nah, that's something you gotta say. That's something you gotta say 3 times.
I can't
trust me. I've tried.
I gotta even sound it out. Within myself, if anything, with my.
I hear it so often, I could just like.
Not feel you.
Yeah, no.
Like special Power Ranger name for this episode.
You know what? I was looking and I was like, let me try to make sure if I do this, do this right when between editing, hopefully find something open source as far as the music and the lightning strike and all of us, one by one. But I gotta
Ernie
figure that out.
Ernie says that 3 times. A Morpher shows up on his arm. He's just like,
well, I don't know if you guys watch any. Super Sentai or like Kamen Rider, but that's like kind of like the current modern era is when they transform. Everybody has jingles. So like, case in point, like if you do like Kamen Rider build when he gets ready to transform, like he'll hit the little button on his little belt and it'll say best match or are you ready or whatever, and then like they'll start like putting his shit in. He'll do his stuff, do his little checks and balances. He'll call all his audibles, and the next thing you know, it's like music will start playing, and there's like always like a song or like a little quick jingle or a saying, some weird shit. And that's when they transform. That's literally how it all happens. So I mean, it would be very on brand.
that's funny.
It would be very on brand.
I mean, it's crazy because Power Rangers is pop culture at this point. I think like it's 100% ingrained in. We'll stick to the U.S. in the West American pop culture. I mean, let's speak on it because there's one particular Ranger I'm gonna get to. I'll get there when we get there. But I think I watched religiously per episode.
Breaking news.
James Earl Jones.
Yeah, what the freak? James Earl just died, bro. What?
My wife told me like right before I came back here. She was like, James Earl Jones just passed away, and I was like, Mufasa gone for real.
Wow. Now I gotta watch Lion King after this. I gotta tell my wife and everything. I had no idea.
My boy Mufasa. I mean, I don't know though. Ain't the new one that they're making is gonna show that Mufasa was an op?
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of wild though.
Yeah.
Way to like ruin the mood. Great.
He's in the Morphin grid. Yo,
So my boy texted me. He was like, "Yo, they got." He said, "Dang, they got James Earl Jones." What?
They got him.
that's
No.
man. Well,
Yeah,
I know.
he ain't with us. He's up there. He rejoined the force.
I was gonna say, is he a Force ghost? If anything,
Nah.
should you watch your
Nah,
back.
he joined the ancestors like in Lion King. He went up
Oh,
there
that's true.
and
Okay,
he's just like chilling in the Great Plains of Africa.
in the clouds.
I
On
guess.
top of that, or something like that. Um.
James
So
Earl Jones.
I was saying before, I watched religiously per episode Mighty Morphin to in space.
Hmm.
Ernie is what do you think? I mean, my favorite squad is, I'm corny, but my favorite squad is original as far as cast. Like,
Yeah,
I have some heat, and I'm corny. Here's how corny I am too. My favorite Rangers was the Blue Ranger. Was
There's nothing
Billy,
controversial about that. Nothing controversial about that. I would be
but
more angry with you if you'd have said Jason. I'd
oh
be like,
no,
all right, cool. I'd be like, all right, look, I'm a
yeah, I'm pissing out. Yeah. See, Ernie's gone. No, mine was Billy, man, Triceratops and everything. He was like the most. I mean, obviously the smart one, but he. I mean, I just felt like everything went through him, and then Zach,
Is
too.
is Billy my boy that started pop locking before he got down?
Black
no. That
Ranger.
was that.
Oh, okay.
Zach, for he hip hop keto.
Yeah,
See,
hip hop keto.
I used to watch, but I was never a huge fan where I was like I knew all of the names and everything. Like, of course I caught it,
Yeah.
but I never knew all of the names. It was like a super fan to like know all of the different genres and whatnot. My favorite one, and don't be mad, but like I liked what was it, Dino Thunder? Because I was just a kid. I was a kid.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, that was good.
Dino Thunder came out. I was like, I love Dino Thunder, especially when the Red Ranger got like that second form, and he had like the sword and whatnot. That was so dope. But that's the one that I really like because that's the one I remember off rip. Like I can remember the episodes. I can remember watching. The other ones I caught and I would watch, but it wasn't something where I was always in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not. It's not the Mighty Morphins. Even though I love the Mighty Morphin Squad, that's not my favorite. There's a lot that kind of happens in between that I really liked. But oddly enough, I actually really liked SPD of the of the American stuff. SPD was kind of where it was at for me, just because the original show that it's based on, Deca Ranger, was kind of more of a police procedural, and this one kind of was the same. But it was one of the rare instances where I felt, at least from a design perspective, not from a story perspective, I still think Deca Ranger is an infinitely better show. But I thought SPD did a really good job of taking some of the costuming, and that was from Deca Ranger and improving upon it. Like, case in point, the Shadow Ranger, Doggy Kruger, Anubis Doggy Kruger.
Yeah, I remember
the
them,
costume for that character in the Deca Ranger version is a lot worse. It looks like some cheap like Party City shit, but it's also, you have to take consideration when Deca Ranger was made versus when SPD was made. There was a jump in visual quality as far as like budgetary concerns. So like it's not that it was just it was made on the cheap. It's just it was what it was. But I thought they did a much better job with the Shadow Ranger, and actually like seeing a brother as the Red Ranger again for the first time in a while, and being a pretty cool dude. So yeah.
Yeah. And I think, what's crazy? I think that sort of dovetails into my heat, because I hated TJ and was it Zeo / Turbo?
Yeah, he took over kind of like around that time frame.
Yeah, took over Tommy's role. Then they relegated him. For me, they relegated him in space to Blue Ranger, like almost like the demotion to
which is sad, because he's like the only Ranger to to solo the Megazord other than Tommy. So, which was kind of wild to think about, because he took on his own Megazord like solo dolo when the bad guys took it over. So
wow,
which is it's kind of wild that TJ got done dirty like that.
He really did. Yo, my man Austin went from like the leader and everything, and I was young, and I'm like, and I knew something was wrong. I was like, wait, a black guy's taking over the team from Tommy's? Something's going on. I was like 12 or 13.
He was handpicked.
Yeah,
he was handpicked.
Yeah.
I was like, man. I was like, dude. I was like, Tommy. He gets it. I was like, he gets it. He understands.
And then the next season they give him a car and everything, give him the best car and all that. And then season after that, I said, "No, you're relegated to, second tier and everything."
If we're being honest, though, Turbo Ranger is so Turbo Ranger actually almost killed the Japanese franchise.
I think I did.
Really?
So it makes sense that it almost killed the Power Rangers franchise.
Wow.
Turbo, because it literally, or I think, what's it called? Car Ranger then? Because I know there's always, no, it was actually Turbo Ranger. So yeah, Turbo Ranger was is considered the worst season of Super Sentai ever produced. So it wasn't much they could do with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They didn't have much they could work with.
So which one is it? Which one is this one?
Power Rangers Turbo.
Really?
That was when Tommy, because when you get to Power Rangers Turbo, that was when a lot of the old, like, okay, so by the time you get to Turbo, most of the old cast is gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of the original cast is gone. The only people who are like still hanging around are Tommy.
Okay.
I think Billy was still kind of slick hanging around, but I don't think he was really doing anything. But
like
that actually
supporting.
that actually had to do with some really like shady fuck shit that Saban was doing behind the scenes, because the actor who played Billy was gay.
He was gay. Yeah.
And they found out. So they took him, they stripped him of his powers and basically just made him a side character. And that was it. So yeah, go figure.
Gotcha.
Go figure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did David Yost dirty as hell.
Yeah.
Right. So I was gonna say, this is kind of off topic. What do you guys think of the Hollywood Power Rangers movie?
Which one?
The one where they all had like alien style like suits.
Oh, the 2017, 2018 one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Did you see that, Austin?
I did.
Yeah.
Goldar was very gold.
Yeah.
He was very gold.
Very gold.
I mean, I kind of like, I like the beginning of it, when I like the idea of Rita being the original Green Ranger.
Yeah.
And
that part was cool.
That was cool. I liked the design of Zordon almost being like a Etch-a-Sketch, if you want to call it. I liked parts of it. And I went in fully knowing that, okay, this isn't don't just go in looking for the Mighty Morphin Power. Just go in expecting a good movie. So just cease all your expectations. Don't compare it to anything. Just walk right in and enjoy the movie.
Kind of knew it was going to be like not good, but you still wanted to see it to see how it would turn out.
Yeah.
Too many Krispy Kreme jokes.
You saw that, right? You got that.
Yeah, too many Krispy Kreme jokes for my.
I don't necessarily remember the movie fully. I got to go back and watch it, but I remember like somehow, if I'm wrong, correct me, but when they were going through their whole training montage, didn't they just like randomly learn how to fight?
Yeah, they got it. They learned it.
Yeah,
like they just randomly learned how to fight and everything.
I think some of them knew how to fight, but like there were others that didn't really. It was weird how they did it. It was but here's the problem I have with the Power Rangers, the 2017 movie, is just the simple fact that the thing that like I think a lot of people actually really wanted to see, they did not give you, and that is actually seeing the Zords come together as a Megazord. It's something that happens off camera,
yeah,
so that they could save money.
Yeah, that was bad.
And it's also the fact that, like, I thought the cast was great. I actually thought everyone they got for their roles, I thought they did as good as you could possibly do.
Yeah.
And I thought that, like, yeah, like you said, the whole Rita thing, the Zordon stuff, all that. At the end of the day, what it ultimately came down was just the fact that the movie was good
Hmm.
up until it got to the third act, which was supposed to be the money shot where you get
Hmm.
to see the Megazord. And I was like, dude, this Megazord is fugly. Like,
Yeah.
and I've seen, let me be honest with y'all. I've seen some fugly Megazords in my day. Like, I'll tell you this. Google search Tokuger Megazord. Just look that up. TOQ
Well, look at
GER. Look up Tokuger Megazord, and I will tell you, I have literally watched the entirety of the Tokuger series. It's over 50 episodes.
What is this?
That is their Megazord that has a big dick for like sticking out of it. Like that's a train.
I'm so confused.
That was the season where it was,
Why?
that was the season that was train thing. Now here's the funny thing. It's actually a lit season, but the Megazord looks like ass.
Yeah.
And that's kind of par for the course. It's like with Super Sentai and Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
If the suits or any aspect of the show looks like cheeks,
Yeah.
the show itself is going to be lit. That's just a fact of life. The worse the suit, the worse the Megazord design, the better the show is going to be. Like I will tell you right now, one of my favorite Kamen Rider seasons, Kamen Rider Gaim, it looks like ass because it's fruit themed. So all the characters look stupid. It is the most lit show you will ever watch in your life.
Austin said, "Nah, bro."
It is the most. You will go into it thinking, "Oh, this looks dumb as hell." Like right now, the current Super Sentai is Boom Boomger. Yeah. Everybody looks stupid. Show is off the chain.
It's on
That's just kind of how it is.
It's on my thumbnail on like my YouTube, like one of the channels I follow, and I've been meaning to like give it a shot, and I just end up bypassing it for one reason or another. But it just looks ridiculous. But that's the point.
Yeah, no, I mean it's gonna look silly. It's gonna look silly. But the thing is, all that was just to say I've seen a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah.
So like it's not that I'm being harsh here.
Right. Right.
That Megazord looks like trash. That Megazord looks like someone's child came up with the design for it. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean or dismissive, but that just took me out. It took me out. I could not. I just could not anymore with it. I just can't.
Think about that fan film that was.
Thank you. I was just gonna say that
she had really liked that too.
Which one is this?
It was like because I got it apart now, but it was like this 15-minute videos. They made it like really like dark.
Yeah.
Like what was
that was I forget who made it, but like it was
something Khan. I forget his name.
Joseph Khan.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool because all the Rangers were getting taken out by whoever, and then
by Rita. Yeah.
At the end. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, they had Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica and James Vanderbeek as Rocky. And I mean, I hated Rocky, so I was glad to see him go.
Rocky was trash.
He was terrible.
Rocky is the only Ranger to take himself out the game.
Yeah, just from doing
dude literally jump kicked his own self out of a boxing ring.
To be replaced by a child.
Honestly, I can get past the child part because one thing a lot of people tend to not know is the stock footage they use to make Tommy the White Ranger. The show that comes from, the White Ranger was a kid. Like that's why whenever you would see Tommy like act really childish when he was in the suit, that's why it was a 10-year-old that got like whenever he would morph, he would become the White Ranger, but he would be fully grown.
I didn't know that.
And it's also why they shipped the whole Pink Ranger, White Ranger thing, because when they did the crossover movie for Die Ranger and Zero Ranger, which the two shows came from, because the White Ranger's from a completely different show than the rest of the cast.
Okay.
He would always perv on the Pink Ranger. And like touch her ass and flirt with her and shit, even though he was like a little boy. So that's kind of why they were like, oh, well, we kind of have to. That's why that kind of gravitated those characters like together. It's one of those things. Nothing they did was because they wanted to. It was because like they literally had no choice.
Okay. That's some
same reason why Tommy had to lose his powers twice. It's
Right.
because they were like, well, we're out of stock footage. We used up everything.
Right. Because were they recording faster than the Japanese?
No. Those shows were already old by the time they came out over here.
Right. Okay.
But the thing is, people were already hip to the fact that they were reusing sequences a lot.
And just building
But
around
it would have got to the point, it would have become too obvious because like every time they would transform, the Zords come out of the ground, it was always the same stock footage over and over again. So they had to they had to stop using the Green Ranger because the Green Ranger was dead. The Green Ranger was gone. He got sent to the upper room. There was no more Green Ranger for them to use. And same thing. Well, White Ranger didn't die, but it was just like they couldn't use the Kiba Ranger as much as they wanted to because it wasn't that much footage for them to work with. So
and you can tell like that the foil, like his shields, like between
if it was the foil, that was the American version. If you ever saw him and the shield was flimsy, that's the American. If it would look like it was made out of like some like hard like plastic or something or like hard foam, that was the Japanese version.
Got it. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I definitely saw that a bunch of times as far as that. But no, there's some hit and miss stuff. I mean, like I said, I hated Rocky. I didn't care for Aisha. I thought Adam was awesome.
Adam was the only one I really cared for. Out of the initial New Rangers.
Yeah. Didn't care for anybody else. But then eventually, like I said, I think I got up to after In Space, I think I was maybe entering high school. I'm like, I don't want people knowing I was watching Power Rangers or something and everything. So I was like, I better stop. See,
if you were watching Super Sentai, you could have kept watching because even though those shows are for kids, they murk people on those shows. Did you ever watch? Did you watch the episode of Mighty Morphin where Billy and Kimberly turned evil?
Yes. And weren't they killing people in real life? Or I mean,
well, no. Okay, so in the American version, they were just being assholes.
Right.
But in the Japanese version, the Blue Ranger, Pink Ranger were killing folks. The Blue Ranger had a I forget which one had which. I think he had the Uzi, and he just went out and started murking a bunch of people.
What the heck is going on?
And the Pink Ranger had a samurai sword, and she went out just slicing and dicing motherfuckers. Like, and I don't mean like, man, that person might be alive. It's like, no that motherfucker dead.
So she was a Ranger Slayer before she.
You're right, before the Ranger Slayer was a thing. Yeah, and Rita was a Satanist. So a Satanist who murdered children. That's
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And matter of fact, that low car that with the floating head in the sky,
wasn't that Satan?
That was Satan. That was actually that like literally Satan.
I remember that.
So yeah,
Power Rangers is I didn't know Power Rangers went this deep.
Well, I mean, they couldn't use any of that. They had to change the names because Goldar in the Super Sentai version didn't talk at all. He spoke like maybe twice, I think, the whole series. He was very quiet. He wasn't cracking. Got you, Rangers. Like, yeah, no, he didn't say dumb shit like that. He just came out, gave you the hands, and left. I think his name was Grifforzer. I think it was his name on that. But yeah, it was it comes from a darker place. Yeah. But like, yeah, the Power Rangers had a lot of really interesting stuff on it that they could have done with it that they didn't.
Our childhood is so screwed up. We don't even know. like we're if you're a '90s kid, you didn't know how messed up things were. I mean, I think that's the illusion of it too. Also, I know you're looking something up and everything. So Austin's doing the research.
It was research. I was full transparency. I was deprived as a kid, man. I actually did it. I couldn't watch Power Rangers, and I don't think my mom had a legit reason, but I couldn't watch.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
She said, "Boy, you don't watch that. Clean your room, boy."
I'm like, yeah, but then, right next to that, I'm watching Ultraman Tiga, and I'm kicking it. That was my thing. You know what I mean? I'm having the whole kaiju junk. So
Ultraman was awesome.
Did you ever watch Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad?
Yes, I had the toy. Had that
Yeah,
toy.
that was
Superhuman Samurai. Wait,
The
what?
longest name.
yeah,
It
Say
was
it again. Say it again.
what was it,
Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. It was
Superhuman
all
Samurai
four.
Cyber.
Actually, because I know you're into anime. Did you ever watch SSS S Gridman?
It's familiar, but I can't picture it. Well, let me look it
Okay,
up.
so that anime is a love letter to the original show that Superhuman Samurai Squad was based on. And the reason why they call it SSSS.Gridman is because of the American version of the TV show. But it was originally called Gridman. It was a spinoff of Ultraman. That's why the character looked like Ultraman. It's because it was Ultraman. It's just they didn't call him Ultraman. It was called Gridman.
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah,
That makes sense.
But,
See,
yeah.